Now I'm 49 years old, I can kick or jump straight into a handstand and hold with control. And today I'm going to go through 5 reasons why you can't handstand. But I'm not just going to show you the reasons why you can't, I'm going to show you how to fix it. So let's jump in with number 1. Not spending enough time with the basics. Now the basics can be put into 3 different categories, or even just 3 different drills. It's as simple as that. The first one is conditioning. So being able to hold this position for time. So chest to wall position, pushing nice and tall, and be in this position, not this position. We need to be able to hold here for 30 to 60 seconds with control. If you can't do that yet, start a little bit further away, but make sure you're in this dishy position, not in this arch position. Don't worry about getting super close and trying to do this. That's not going to help you in the long run. We want a more flexed position, so like more of a hollow, not an extended position, and just hang out there. You might start with 10, 20 seconds and then slowly build it up till you can comfortably hold for 45, 60 seconds and hold a conversation at the same time. Then we need to really understand the balance. So to be able to control the overbalance and the underbalance. What does that mean? If I'm in a handstand, I can fall towards my overbalance this way, or I can fall towards my underbalance, which is this way. And to rebalance a handstand, I need to build control and range in both of those movements. So handstand in the middle, I need to be able to go towards overbalance, and I need to be able to go towards underbalance and show control there, meaning I can move through the range between the overbalance and the underbalance. And if I'm holding and fall a little bit, I can pull back to that standard home position, which is the straight handstand in the middle. And to learn that, we just need to do repetitions of back to wall, pulling from the wall. So I'm going to kick up, I'm going to make the body one piece and push nice and tall. And then I'm going to push through the fingers, reach up, take the shoulders forwards a little bit as the heels come off, and then try and go back. Do that for repetitions, and then do that for holds. This is going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but you're going to start to get control in that overbalance to handstand. And then the harder version for most people, because it's a bit scary because we could backsplat, is pulling off, is turning around and being chest to wall and then pulling off the wall using the shoulders like so. So I'm going to go up into chest to wall position. I'm going to become nice and strong, not collapse into the wall. And then I'm going to take the shoulders forwards, watch the toes slide down. I bring the hips with me, and then I push up and back to the wall. As I build control and confidence there, I can start to hold for a couple of seconds before I go back. And then as I get better with it, this is going to take a few months, I can hold there for time and then choose to go back. So that's training that underbalance. The back to wall one is training the overbalance. Put them together, you increase your balance window. Combine that with the conditioning holds and you have everything you need to hold a balanced handstand for time. Number 2, you're not being realistic with your body position. You could be not flexible enough and fighting yourself, and actually trying to force yourself into a straight line is stopping you from learning the handstand. So realistically, most people's handstand position to start with is going to look a bit like this. So see the banana position? So I'm arched through the body, I've got my legs apart and my arms are slightly bent. So from the back, it's going to look like this. Now, if I take that person and get them to straighten as hard as they can while they're trying to learn to balance, what's going to happen is they're going to go like this, and their body is going to spit them out in a certain direction, whether that's underbalance, overbalance, or to the side. Or if they can straighten a bit more, it's actually going to become that intense. So they try and straighten like this. They're not going to be able to breathe, and they can't control the handstand because they're putting all their energy into trying to control the straightening, and they've got nothing left to balance. So be realistic with your flexibility while learning the balance drills, but also be putting in the work to increase your flexibility. So be working on that overhead mobility by doing thoracic foam rolling, doing hanging, going to shoulder, upper back stretching, whether it's raised up like this or like this. Work on that hamstring length so we can have a deep forward fold. If we're super tight in that position, we might want to start off in single leg positions like this until you can get fingertips to the floor, until you can get palms to the floor, and then you can walk the hands forwards. We should be able to go into a quad hip flexor position where you can get a straight line from your knee all the way to your shoulder like this and not be in this closed hunched position. And then we can add some spice to that by going into a posterior tilt and lifting the arm up in the air. So improve on their weaknesses, but be realistic when you're doing your balance drills and allow the body to find a position that you're comfortable with and that isn't taking all your energy away from balancing the handstand itself. Number 3, you could be too weak or unconditioned. So you need to slowly build back that body weight strength. So you're not only doing your handstand training, but you're also doing things like crow balances, push-ups, maybe on your knees or incline to start with. Mobility work that's also going to make you stronger. Things like Cossack squats are really good. Just make sure that you're keeping your torso up nice and upright, so your shoulders behind your knee. Just go into the ranges that you can, and then if you do these every day or every other day, you're going to slowly get deeper and deeper in that position. You can do straddle good morning positions where I'm not just working that flexibility, but I'm working that mobility and strength through the full range of motion. And that's going to strengthen the hips and the legs. Make sure you're doing enough with the pulling movements, so doing things like rows where you're opening the chest, the shoulders as you're doing them, and then progressing that all the way till you can do chin-ups. And then as you get stronger, you just carry that on and make it more handstand specific, so you could go pike push-ups and work all the way up to things like handstand push-ups, where it's going to work your balance, your strength, and your flexibility. And then number 4, one of the biggies, consistency. We need to make sure that we're putting in enough work, not just in one session, but in multiple sessions in the same week. Ideally, we're going to be doing something towards our handstand on a daily basis or on every other day. When you was learning to walk, you didn't just do it once a week for 30 minutes. You tried it every day. So learning to balance, especially on our hands, takes a lot of consistent work. And I highly recommend that you're planning your training sessions for around 4 times a week, and then the other 3 days a week you're doing things towards your handstand. So it could be a little play on your hands in the crow froggy position. It could even be other inversions like headstands or forearm stands. But it was like when I started at 37, I wanted to learn a one-arm handstand, so I just started a daily practice or committed to doing one handstand every day. And now my balance work is more about maintenance and teaching other people to do those skills, whether it's a standard handstand balance, the press handstands, the handstand push-ups, or the what's seen as the pinnacle of handstand balance, the one-arm handstand. And that leads us to number 5. Be realistic about the amount of time it's actually going to take. For an adult to learn a handstand, it could be 6 months, or more realistically, it's going to be 18 months, 2 years. But it's not about that end result, it's the journey that it takes you on. And trust me, I'm talking from experience after doing 13 years every day. If you have any questions, stick them down in the comments below. If you have any requests for future videos, stick them down there as well. If you like help with your training, check out my website or my app, and I'll speak to you guys in the next one.